I just noticed Tyler was too.
All right, well, we'll go ahead and jump in. Again, my name is Luke Galswick, President and CEO with District Energy St. Paul and Evergreen Energy. On behalf of District Energy St. Paul, project sponsor for the Heights Community Energy Project, I want to say thank you for joining us today as we mark a pivotal moment in the St. Paul Port Authority-led redevelopment project known as the Heights. And that pivotal moment is the groundbreaking of the energy system. Before we begin, we do want to acknowledge that St. Paul stands on the ancestral, traditional, and contemporary Dakota homelands. As we reflect on the events of today, and specifically today as Indigenous Peoples Day, we think it is important to consider the legacies and dimensions of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that have brought us to the present. And with that too, commit to understanding, respecting, supporting, and advocating for Indigenous people and for this land. And finally, we hope this land acknowledgement will be more than just a reminder. Let it be a marker in time where we dedicate ourselves to be better and do better as we move forward to the future. The Heights represents a bold redevelopment on St. Paul's east side, centering opportunity, social equity, and sustainability. And we are here today because community champions, you all, came together to advocate for an innovative, net zero community energy system to serve the Heights. Once completed, the multi-unit residential and light industrial buildings here at the Heights will be heated and cooled by one of the largest network geothermal energy systems in the country and the first to use aquifer thermal energy storage at a commercial scale. At the heart of the Heights is an energy system designed to support the Port Authority's goal of a sustainable and equitable development. This network geothermal system, also known as a thermal energy network or district energy system, will utilize the groundwater as a source and sink for heat in conjunction with ground source heat pumps fed by renewable electricity to provide renewable net zero carbon energy services to the community, eliminating natural gas infrastructure and consumption while offering reliable cost-based energy services from a community-based and community-represented system. Well, the aquifer thermal energy storage technology has been widely deployed globally. This project will be the first commercial deployment of this proven technology in the United States, and this is really good news for us in Minnesota and specifically here in the Twin Cities, as the aquifer systems in our region have the appropriate characteristics for this sort of technology and this sort of geothermal system. This will encourage deployments of like systems, we hope, elsewhere in the region, across the Twin Cities and Minnesota. It will educate developers and planners and communities about how using aquifer thermal energy storage as a cost-competitive option for reducing carbon emissions in the building sector. This is a big idea that is becoming a reality, and St. Paul and this project is leading the way. And now, I would love to ask the mayor to come forward and provide a few remarks, and then after the mayor gives his remarks, we're going to take a photo, and then we'll regroup for some remarks from additional folks. So let's hear it for the mayor.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Boy, thank you all for being here. It feels like every week we have another amazing, exciting announcement or event here on this site. It's really incredible to see just how quickly this is transforming before our eyes as the construction has gotten underway. Just last week we were here, was that last week or the week before? We were here for the Habitat build, which was pretty incredible. I'm Melvin Carter and I'm the mayor of this incredible city. It's an honor, a privilege of a lifetime to be able to serve as mayor of this city. And we're excited that we get a chance to literally build the future together. Sometimes when we talk about building the future, it's a metaphor, but we're literally building the future here. We are building housing in this space. And you know, sometimes historically, when we've said the words affordable housing, it's been kind of a trick. We've been hiding the bag because, you know, I can look back through history and see lots of occasions in which folks called something affordable housing, but in reality, what they were delivering was cheap housing. And that cheap housing, we found out, had a lot of hidden costs associated with it. If the rent is low, but the cost to heat the place is high, then if the rent is low, but the cost to maintain the place is high, then that's not an affordable home at all. And so it's a privilege And it's a pleasure to be able to say that we are truly building affordable housing in this space that's affordable, that's high quality places that our families will be able to relax after a long day at school or work, and will be able to bring their company with dignity and live with dignity in our community. That deserves a round of applause. We're excited about all the things that we're doing. It's all informed by our climate action and resilience plan, which has set goals for St. Paul to be net zero in carbon emissions community-wide by 2050. One of the key goals to achieving the goals, one of the key measures to achieving these goals will be ensuring that new development like this can be heated, cooled, and powered without burning fossil gases. This can be accomplished with carbon-free electricity and with clean geothermal heating and cooling. Transitioning to clean heat is something the state of Minnesota and the whole country need to do. And here in St. Paul, we're starting that transition right here on the east side. We're really proud that this will be, as was mentioned earlier, the first network geothermal heating and cooling system in the state. And we're also proud that the second one will be in St. Paul too, at Como Zoo. Because that's what St. Paul needs to do, is be a leader where all of these things are concerned.
This project here is very, very personal to me, and also so important to me in the professional work I do as a council member here in St. Paul. So this past year, my husband and I, we became first-time homeowners. Something I'm so proud of, and honestly something that I could never really imagine myself accomplishing, especially as a daughter of refugees who grew up in a low-income family. Before we bought our home, though, we were renting right in the Payne-Phelan neighborhood. And during the winter season, our energy bills were around $700 a month. My question is, how do you even budget for that? It's so unsustainable. And also for so many families in the East Side who are living paycheck to paycheck, how do you even manage to pay for that year after year? What we are talking about here, which is making sure that that households here in the Heights are energy efficient, that folks have very affordable energy bills. It is so important and so critical and so real right now to many folks in the East Side. Even though that is the present that I experienced when I was renting, and also it's the present for so many families, we need to make sure that in the future no one has to experience that at all. So I'm so proud to be in this work with all of you as we trailblaze towards an energy efficient, zero carbon future. Thank you so much for your leadership and partnership. I can't wait for the geothermal infrastructure right behind us here to be completed, and for all of us to see the positive impact our collective efforts will have on families here at the Heights, our planet, and all generations to come. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Councilmember Yang. Next, I'd like to invite Councilmember Shaniqua Johnson to the podium.
All right. Well, I am super excited. My name is Shaniqua Johnson again, and I'm the council member of Ward 7 and a partner on the East Side as it relates to just making sure we have more sustainable housing opportunities for our communities. We know that the families that are here 5 years from now, 10 years from now, are gonna remember this moment right now, and that it's a starting point of the bigger story. And that's just to continue to see more sustainable opportunities here in the city of St. Paul and throughout the country. So thank you so much for being here as well, and for allowing me to be here to say a few words.
Thank you, Councilmember Johnson. Next, I would like to invite Catherine Sarnecki from the St. Paul Port Authority.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much, Luke. Thank you, Mayor, Councilmember Yang, Councilmember Johnson, for your leadership. My name's Catherine Sarnecki, and I'm the Chief Development Officer for the St. Paul Port Authority. And I've had the pleasure of leading the Heights redevelopment project for the past 5 years. And today marks an exciting milestone in that journey. This all began with a powerful community vision to create the greenest development possible right here on St. Paul's Greater East Side. The Heights is much more than a construction site. It's the future home of thriving, sustainable community. We're on track to bring 1,000 jobs to an area that currently only has 3,000 jobs for its 30,000 residents. At a time when the demand for affordable housing is critical, the Heights will deliver attainable homes for people who need them most. Our goal is ambitious: to cut greenhouse gas emissions and develop land in a way that is sustainable and equitable. But we're not just building structures, we're building a community, a place where people can live, work, and play, all while working towards a cleaner, greener future. Thank you all for your commitment and your partnership to make this happen. I look forward to seeing how the Heights will grow and thrive in the future.
Thanks, Catherine. Next, I would like to invite Chris Sherman from Sherman and Associates to provide a few remarks. Chris?
Thank you very much, and thank you. I will be brief, but I do really appreciate the opportunity here to speak alongside such great leaders that are out here really at the forefront of driving long-term sustainability, driving long-term impacts. And these are really generational impacts we're making at the Heights. From both a sustainability energy standpoint, the work that Evergreen's doing in partnership with the Port Authority and the city to deliver this system is just tremendous. And it's one of the many things that really attracted our company, Sherman Associates, alongside JO companies and Twin Cities Habitat, to really want to be a part of this large vision. And I'm very honored to be up here today, just saying a few remarks, so thank you for having me join. But I want to thank all of you out here for the great work that's going on behind me, all around. 112 acres over the next several years. We're going to bring this whole golf course to the Heights. And thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it. Next, I would like to invite Chelsea DeArmond from St. Paul 350. We're holding the mic now, or if you want to do the stand, whichever.
Hello, I am Chelsea DeArmond, founder of St. Paul 350, which we're now proud to say is known as Unidos St. Paul. So we were told over the course of the 5 years or so that everyone here was working on this project, we were told about half a dozen times that the district geothermal system was definitely not going to happen. It was too expensive, too complicated, too late. But we refused to let it die. It took all of us here to make the Heights system a reality. Together we proved that St. Paul has what we need to bring clean heat not just to the Heights, but to all of our neighborhoods. This is the right thing to do, not only for St. Paul, but for Pipestone and for our planet. So while we're all here together, I want to ask, especially for my elected leaders, what will be the next community to get clean heat in St. Paul? For example, how can we make sure geothermal infrastructure is included in the common sense street reconstruction projects? How can we weatherize homes to prepare them for the transition to clean heat? How can we secure local funds that can be leveraged to win abundant state and federal grants? So let's all keep in touch. And I look forward to seeing you at the next groundbreaking. I'll just hand it off.
Thanks so much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony this afternoon. Let me just double check. Yes, it does. Okay. I just want to say thank you again to everyone for taking time out of your schedule to be here today for this momentous occasion. I'm so impressed by the diverse stakeholder group that we have today. It takes so many people all pulling in the same direction to make a project like this happen, and I'm proud of this community and this stakeholder group for making this happen. St. Paul has demonstrated innovation in heating and cooling for a long time, and we're continuing that track record, and people are noticing. So let's give ourselves a big round of applause.
Focus, you guys can be seen.